When you're thinking about adding a professional-grade pedicure chair to a home salon or a small commercial space, the first thing that comes to mind is usually the risk of spending a lot of money on something that looks great on paper, but ends up being a headache in everyday use. I get that hesitation. There's a lot of hype out there, and you want to know whether the features you're paying for actually translate into smoother workflows, happier clients, and a better bottom line. In this review, I'm going to walk through what the MAYAKOBA Perla 18LX Shiatsulogic Pedicure chair really brings to the table, where it shines, and where it might fall short, so you can decide if it's the right fit for your setup. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the core of any pedicure chair, the foot tub. The Perla 18LX uses a 4-gallon fiberglass tub that's chemically resistant, which means you won't be worrying about the tub degrading when you use common soak solutions, acetone, or strong sanitizers. The pipeless whirlpool system is a nice departure from the older models that rely on external hoses. Instead, a built-in magnetic jet circulates water and creates a gentle swirling motion. In practice, that means you get a consistent massage without the mess of a hose that can kink or leak over time. I've seen a few salon owners try to retrofit older chairs with external pumps, and the maintenance issues quickly pile up, so the integrated system here is a practical time saver. The chair itself offers the full Shiatsulogic vibration suite: tapping, kneading, rolling, pressing, and knocking. Those terms can sound a bit like marketing fluff, but they are really just different patterns the motor can produce. In a real-world scenario, you might start a client with a light tapping sequence to stimulate circulation, then shift to kneading while you trim the nails. The transition is seamless because the controller lets you toggle between patterns without stopping the water flow. For a technician who likes to keep the session moving, that fluidity can shave a minute or two off each appointment. A small but meaningful efficiency gain when you're booked back-to-back. Automatic seat adjustment is another feature that feels less like a gimmick and more like a genuine convenience. The chair can glide forward and backward and recline, all at the touch of a button. When you're working on a client with a longer leg or need to get a better angle for a hard-to-reach toe, you can slide the seat forward without getting on your knees. The recline function also lets you lower the client's back for a more relaxed posture during the soak, which many clients appreciate. However, the motor that drives these motions isn't super loud. It hums softly, but in a quiet, low-traffic salon you'll notice it. If you run a high-end spa that markets a silent sanctuary experience, you might want to test that sound level in your own space before committing. Now, let's address the practicalities of installation and daily upkeep. The tub's 4-gallon capacity means you won't be constantly refilling a massive volume of water, which is a relief for both water bills and the time spent swapping out old soak solutions. The LED color light adds a spa-like ambience. Think soft blues or purples that can be toggled for mood lighting. It's a nice visual touch, but it's not essential to the function, so if you're budgeting tightly, you could look at cheaper models that skip the lighting without losing the core whirlpool benefits. One of the more understated strengths is the acetone-proof armrests. In a typical pedicure, you'll have to hold a client's hand while you work on the other foot, and acetone can quickly degrade plastic over time. The armrests on the Perla are made from a material that resists that chemical attack, which translates to a longer lifespan for the chair's high-touch surfaces. I've spoken with a few nail techs who switched from standard armrests to a chemical-resistant version and reported noticeably fewer scratches and discolorations after a few months of heavy use. Storage can be a silent deal-breaker in a cramped salon, and the Perla includes a personal bag compartment built into the back of the chair. It's sized just enough for your basic tools: cuticle nippers, files, a small bottle of cuticle oil so you don't have to constantly shuffle a rolling cart. That said, the compartment isn't lockable, so if you keep expensive or proprietary products in there, you'll need to be mindful of security. Who should seriously consider this chair? If you run a boutique nail salon that sees a steady flow of clients and you want to differentiate with a modern, low-maintenance foot spa, the Perla's integrated whirlpool and multi-pattern vibration are solid reasons to invest. It also makes sense for a home-based nail technician who wants a professional feel without needing to set up separate pump units or worry about chemical wear on the tub. The chair's footprint is moderate. It won't dominate a 120 square foot room, but you'll still need a dedicated corner with power access.